Today, we're breaking down something from the financial world that, frankly, just doesn't add up. Wall Street is posting incredible profits, but at the same time, the top execs are warning that a storm is brewing. So what's the real story?
All right, so get this. On one side, you've got these massive blockbuster earnings reports that Wall Street loves to see. But on the other, you have the very same CEOs who are delivering this good news, sounding some pretty serious alarms about the economy. This is way more than just a mixed message, you know? It's a huge potential red flag.
Okay, first things first, let's look at the good news, right? The headline numbers, and we're talking about some seriously impressive figures here that make it look like the financial sector is absolutely booming. But, and this is a big but, these numbers might not be telling us the whole story.
Yeah, we're talking about the absolute heavyweights here. JPMorgan Chase, Goldman Sachs. I mean, they didn't just meet expectations for the third quarter, they completely blew them out of the water. On paper, it looks like the party's just getting started, but is it?
So you gotta ask, right? Where is all this money actually coming from? With so much uncertainty out there in the world, how are these banks pulling off such an amazing performance? Well, the answer is kind of hiding in plain sight, in one particular corner of the market that has been on an absolute tear.
So what's the big secret? It all comes down to a frenzy of deal-making. We're talking about a nonstop whirlwind of mergers, acquisitions, and companies going public. It's kept the investment bankers incredibly busy, and yeah, it's lined their pockets. But as we're about to see, a boom this big can be a real double-edged sword.
Okay, but this is where the plot really thickens. Because at the exact moment they should be celebrating these huge wins, the leaders of Wall Street are the ones sounding the alarm. They're looking past their own record profits, and they are seeing something that has them pretty spooked.
And I mean, listen to this. It really doesn't get more blunt. More cockroaches will emerge. That is a direct and pretty chilling quote from Jamie Dimon, the CEO of JPMorgan. He's not just talking about a few small problems. He's warning that a whole swarm of issues could be about to crawl out of the woodwork.
And look, Dimon isn't just throwing scary words around for no reason. He's pointing his finger at one very specific area that has him on high alert: the often unseen, murky world of private credit. This is where he thinks the seeds of the next big problem are being planted right now.
And this is where things start to get genuinely concerning. You can think of private credit as the Wild West of the financial world. It's kind of like a shadow banking system with way less regulation and transparency. And that means it's almost impossible to know who's really on the hook for all this debt. So if the music suddenly stops, well, the fallout could be catastrophic.
So let's bring this all together. What does this contradiction, these huge profits and these dire warnings, actually mean for you and your money? Are the banks just being overly cautious, or are we really teetering on the edge of another financial meltdown? Let's try to connect the dots. Now, this isn't just some abstract story for the business pages. This could affect all of us. The big banks are like the central nervous system of the entire global economy. So when they start to feel a tremor, it's often a warning sign that a much bigger earthquake could be on its way. And believe me, right now, they are feeling a lot of tremors.
So that leaves us with the big question, doesn't it? Are we in the calm before the storm? Are these record profits just the last burst of sunlight before the clouds roll in? The honest truth is, nobody knows for sure. But here's what we do know. The people with the inside track on the global economy are bracing for a very bumpy ride. The only question left is, are you?